No one valued this legendary spaceship. It was one step away from being scrapped. The graveyard stretched for hundreds of kilometers across orbit. Rusted hulls floated silently, their paint chipped, their once brilliant lights now dead. It was a place no one came to except the salvage crews, and even they avoided lingering too long. The orbital station overseeing the junkyard had long ago stopped caring. To them, these ships were relics of a past humanity had already abandoned. Among the derelict vessels, a single ship stood out, not for its condition, but for its history. Its hull was scarred and blackened in places, engines silent, but the Aurora Star had once been legendary. It had led humanity to victories in wars that the newer generation only read about in textbooks. The stories described daring maneuvers, clever strategies, and a crew that had fought against impossible odds. And yet now, it hung in the graveyard like any other scrap. Talha, a young engineer barely out of the academy, floated cautiously among the debris. His suit's thrusters hummed softly as he maneuvered toward the Aurora Star. Most people had passed it by without a second glance, seeing only old metal. But something about it called to him. Perhaps it was the stories he had read as a child, or maybe it was the faint pulse he felt as his gloved hand brushed the hull. "Crazy, isn't it?" said a voice over the comm link. It was Zara, his mentor and the station's chief engineer. "That thing's been marked for scrapping for years. You really want to get inside? You know the board won't approve anything."
"I know," Talha replied, eyes scanning the surface of the ship.
"But I don't know. I feel like it's not done yet. Like it's waiting," Zara sighed. "Waiting to be melted down, probably. Don't say I didn't warn you."
Talha ignored her.
Using his magnetic tether, he anchored himself to the ship and began scanning the hull. Sensors beeped faintly. There was something unusual, something beneath the corrosion that suggested active systems, faint and irregular, almost like a heartbeat. Talha's pulse quickened. The Aurora Star's docking bay was partially collapsed, but Talha squeezed through the gaps. Inside, the darkness swallowed him, only his helmet lights cutting through the gloom. Panels were loose, wires dangled like vines, and the smell of ozone mixed with burnt metal. He could imagine the ship alive, bristling with energy, when it had once soared through the void. He reached the bridge, his boots clanging softly against the metal floor. Instruments that should have been dead flickered weakly, responding to his presence. The captain's chair, scarred and worn, seemed almost to watch him. Talha approached, running his fingers across the controls. A faint hum ran through the deck. It was almost imperceptible at first, but growing stronger the longer he stayed. It was as if the ship itself recognized him. Talha felt a thrill he could not explain. "Talha! Are you in there?" Zara's voice crackled through the comm. "You better not be doing anything stupid in there. The board is sending a team tomorrow to strip it for parts."
"I know,"
he whispered back. I think it wants to show me something first." He moved to the main console, brushing away decades of dust and corrosion. Then the screen flickered to life. Green lines of data scrolled across, followed by a faint, almost imperceptible voice in the background. Talha froze. "Who's there?" the voice seemed to ask. He jumped back, heart pounding. It was the ship. The AI module, long thought deactivated, was alive. I'm Talha," he said softly. I want to help." "Help?" The voice hesitated, flickering. "No one has helped in a long time." Talha swallowed. "I can repair systems, restore power. I can bring you back online." The voice was silent for a moment, then the console flickered again, lights dancing across the panels. Maybe, for the next several hours, Talha worked tirelessly. He bypassed circuits, replaced fuses with scavenged parts, and rerouted power to the bridge. Slowly, the ship responded. Lights glowed along the walls, screens flickered to life, and the faint hum grew into a steady pulse. It was alive, in its own way. As Talha worked, he discovered logs from decades ago. They told stories of a ship and crew that defied orders to save a human colony under alien attack. The Aurora Star had saved thousands of lives, but the fleet command had censured it, branding it obsolete. They had removed it from active duty and sent it into orbit to die. Talha frowned. No wonder no one valued it. History had forgotten its heroics. But Talha did not see junk. He saw a legacy, a vessel that had done what no modern ship could, and now it was waiting for someone to notice. The hours passed like minutes. Talha floated in zero gravity, exhausted, but his excitement never waned. The ship's systems were responding better than he expected. Thrusters powered up in test mode, shields hummed softly, and energy readings suggested that despite decades of neglect, the Aurora star could still perform. Then, something unexpected happened. A faint blip appeared on the sensor array, a signal weak and distorted, coming from deep space. Talha leaned closer. It was not a distress beacon sent by modern ships. It was old, ancient even, like a message from the past. The Aurora star's AI spoke again, softer this time, almost in awe. The signal detected. Humans cannot detect it. Talha's eyes widened. You mean it's hidden? Yes. Old technology forgotten. Zara's voice came through the comm again, a note of warning. Talha, the board is serious. You need to leave that ship, now. They're coming with a salvage team tomorrow.
Talha shook his head. I can't. There's
Something important.
I have to see what it is.
He stayed at the console, tracing the signal. Data scrolled across the screens, showing coordinates far outside human space, near regions the fleet had long considered empty. His excitement grew. The Aurora star had been waiting for this moment. Maybe it was more than a relic. It could be humanity's edge, if only someone dared to awaken it. Hours turned into night on the station. Outside, the graveyard of ships floated silently, indifferent to the world's worries. Inside the Aurora star, systems thrummed with new life. Talha worked tirelessly, repairing, restoring, and listening. Every beep, every flicker of light felt like a heartbeat. The ship, long forgotten, had awoken, and it seemed to recognize him as its partner. Finally, exhausted but satisfied, Talha floated back from the console. The hum of the ship filled the silence. He had done what no one else had dared. For the first time in decades, the Aurora star was alive, and it had chosen him. He leaned back, staring at the stars outside the viewport. Somewhere out there, beyond the graveyard, a signal waited, one that humanity could not yet see. And Talha knew that tomorrow the world would underestimate this legendary ship once more. But for now, in the quiet of the graveyard, Talha smiled. Something incredible was about to begin, and he would be the one to see it first. Talha floated inside the Aurora star, staring at the faint, pulsing signal on the console. It grew stronger by the minute, an irregular rhythm, like it was trying to speak. The AI's voice echoed softly in the bridge. It is old, dangerous. Hidden from humans? What do you mean? Talha asked, leaning closer to the screen. Hidden from humans? Yes, our systems contain information. Forbidden. Lost. Talha's heart raced. The idea that this ship, long abandoned, considered scrap, contained secret technology older and more advanced than the current fleet, was staggering. And yet, the AI seemed hesitant. If they discover, they may destroy. Who? Talha asked. The humans? The fleet? The authorities? The warning made him pause, but curiosity outweighed caution. Talha began examining the ship's internal systems, following the AI's guidance. The Aurora star was like a treasure chest, filled with modules and circuits no modern engineer had ever seen. Its weapon systems were hidden, cloaked behind encryption decades old. Its engines could output far more energy than any active ship, yet consumed surprisingly little fuel. This ship isn't just alive, Talha whispered. It's smarter than anything humans have today. The AI seemed almost pleased. Yes, smarter, faster, stronger. Talha worked tirelessly, connecting old systems to the station's power supplies, running tests and repairing damaged circuits. He discovered an auxiliary navigation array capable of detecting signals that the modern fleet could not. And then he found the weapons control matrix, dormant but functional. Turrets, energy cannons, even stealth modules hidden in the hull. The sheer scale of it was breathtaking. No wonder the fleet had retired it. They had feared it. Technology like this, if misused, could change the balance of power in human space. But Talha had no such intention. He only wanted to awaken the Aurora star fully, to bring it back to life. Hours passed. The bridge hummed with quiet energy. Lights flickered as systems gradually powered up. The ship seemed to respond to Talha's touch, almost like it understood him. He could hear faint whirring from the engines, feel subtle vibrations through the floor, as though the Aurora star was testing its own strength. Suddenly, the sensors blinked furiously. Talha froze. The signal. It wasn't alone. Something was out there. Zara's voice came over the comm. Talha, I told you not to linger in there. You need to get out now. Salvage crews are on the way. I can't, Talha said, eyes glued to the console. There's something, someone, out there. And this ship can help. He followed the signal, tracing it across light years of space, to a point just beyond human-controlled territory. The AI spoke quietly, almost reverently. It is a warning. An attack. They're coming. Talha's stomach tightened. The Aurora star had been asleep for decades, and already it was sensing danger. Alien danger. He realized that this forgotten ship might be humanity's only hope. By now, the station's salvage drones were beginning to approach. Talha ignored them, continuing his work. He accessed the ship's training simulators, watching holographic recreations of past battles. He saw the Aurora star executing maneuvers that no modern ship could manage, dodging entire fleets, outsmarting commanders, rescuing colonies in ways that seemed impossible. This ship, it's legendary, Talha whispered, and no one even knew it was alive. He looked at the AI interface again. They will not believe. Your fleet will dismiss. You're humans. Talha nodded. He understood. The fleet had abandoned this ship once. Now, if the aliens arrived, they might abandon humanity too. But he would not. For the next several days, Talha worked secretly. He repaired the life support systems, rewired the engines, and restored weapon control. Each success brought a new glow to the bridge, a soft hum of energy, a heartbeat echoing through the hull. Slowly, the Aurora star awoke. Then came the first test. Talha activated the auxiliary sensors. On the display, faint blips appeared. Alien ships, cloaked, fast, approaching human colonies on the edge of explored space. The fleet had not yet detected them. They're here, Talha said quietly, fear and excitement mixing.
And they're faster than anything we have. The AI seemed tense. You are ready,
but alone. I don't care, Talha said. If this ship can save even one colony, it will be worth it. He began plotting a course. The Aurora star responded immediately, engines glowing faintly, shields aligning. As he navigated through the debris of the orbital graveyard, Talha felt the thrill of being in command. This wasn't just a ship, it was history, a living reminder of what humans could achieve when they refused to give up. But the aliens were closer now. Sensor readings showed multiple fleets converging on human colonies. Talha felt a chill. The Aurora star's hidden power was immense, but could one ship really face such a threat? He did not have long to worry. The comm system suddenly activated, picking up faint transmissions. Human colonies were under attack. Civilian ships were being destroyed. Panic spread across the colony's communications channels. Talha's resolve hardened. He would not let the Aurora star be ignored. He would show the fleet and the universe that humanity could rise even from a forgotten ship in a graveyard. You must act. Now, the AI whispered. Talha nodded. Then we act. He initiated a system-wide scan, activating the Aurora star stealth modules. The ship seemed to purr with power as energy flowed through circuits that hadn't been used in decades. Shields aligned, engines hummed, and weapon systems calibrated automatically. It was ready. Talha studied the navigation array. The alien fleet was vast, but their strategy was predictable. They underestimated human ships, assuming them primitive and weak. But the Aurora Star was neither primitive nor weak. It was clever, precise, and entirely human at its core. He ran simulations in real time, testing maneuvers and adjusting for speed, trajectory, and enemy firepower. The Aurora Star responded flawlessly, executing movements with perfect precision. Talha realized with awe that the ship seemed to anticipate his intentions, almost as if it were thinking alongside him. Hours later, he left the orbital graveyard Aurora Star, moving silently through space. Sensors picked up no human ships nearby. The fleet would not intervene. Talha felt a pang of loneliness. If this worked, it would be the Aurora Star and him against an entire alien fleet. He took a deep breath, watching the stars blur as the engines pushed them forward. The signal they had traced earlier pulsed stronger now, almost guiding them. Talha's hands rested lightly on the controls, feeling the ship's energy resonate beneath his fingers. "We are ready," the AI said, voice steady now. "Then let's show them what humans can do," Talha said, eyes burning with determination. They reached the edge of human-controlled space. Colonies lay ahead, some under attack, some still unaware of the approaching threat. Talha ran the Aurora Star's final diagnostics, weapons systems green, shield stable, engines optimal, navigation synchronized. He looked at the stars, feeling the weight of responsibility. One ship, a forgotten legend, against an alien fleet. But he believed in humanity. He believed in the ship, and he knew that cleverness, courage, and determination could do what numbers alone could not. The first alien scout appeared on the sensors, moving fast, confident, unaware of what awaited. Talha activated Aurora Star's stealth systems and prepared for a surprise strike. The AI's voice spoke softly, almost proud. "This is the moment humanity will see," Talha smiled grimly. "Then let's wake them up." The Aurora Star surged forward, lights dimmed, energy humming through its hull. A single ship, forgotten by history, ready to remind the universe what humans were capable of. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, the vacuum silent. But in the heart of the Aurora Star, systems alive, engines ready, and a young engineer's courage burning bright. Humanity's hidden potential was about to be revealed. The Aurora Star drifted silently in the void, its hull shimmering faintly under the glow of distant stars. Talha's hands hovered over the control panels, steady but tense. Every sensor, every display, hummed with life. The ship had awakened fully now, and it was ready. Outside the stealth field, an alien scout drifted unaware, moving in calculated patterns. Talha studied the readings. It was faster than any human ship, but predictable. That predictability would be humanity's advantage. "Ready?" the AI asked softly, almost a whisper in Talha's mind. Talha nodded. "Let's remind them who's in charge." With a tap on the console, the Aurora Star surged forward, engines humming like a living thing. It drifted around the scout, undetected, aligning its energy cannons. The first shot was precise, a single pulse of concentrated energy that disabled the scout's propulsion. The alien ship spun helplessly, systems failing. Talha's heart raced. "We're not done yet." "No, not done," the AI responded. "The fleet, the main force, approaches." Indeed, Talha's sensors picked up dozens of alien ships moving toward human colonies. Larger warships followed, their weapons bristling, and smaller vessels darted ahead like scouts. The Aurora Star was alone against them. Yet Talha did not feel fear. He felt determination. The AI calculated attack patterns, highlighting weak points in enemy formations.
"They underestimate us," Talha said aloud. "They think one human ship is easy prey."
They're about to learn otherwise. The first wave of alien fighters approached. Talha activated the Aurora Star's stealth arrays, disappearing from sensors. The ship moved like a shadow among the stars. weaving through asteroid debris and orbital junk, closing the distance to the enemy. When the alien fighters finally realized they had lost contact with the scout, it was too late. The Aurora Star appeared suddenly behind the formation, weapons ready. Energy beams lanced out, hitting the nearest ships and disabling their shields. Alien pilots panicked, unsure how a single human vessel had outmaneuvered them. Talha's fingers danced across the controls. He wasn't relying on raw firepower alone. Every maneuver, every shot was precise, exploiting weaknesses, using the Aurora Star's agility and intelligence to full advantage. The AI guided him through complex calculations, predicting enemy movements before they acted. They will try to flank, intercept, Talha anticipated, dodging, countering, and striking. In minutes, several enemy fighters were destroyed or disabled. The human colony's alarms echoed across communications channels, confused voices reporting that one ship was holding off an entire fleet. Talha allowed himself a brief smile. The Aurora Star was proving itself. It wasn't just a ship. It was a weapon of strategy, creativity, and human cunning. But then came the alien flagship, massive, bristling with weapons and surrounded by a swarm of smaller craft. Talha's sensors flared warnings, but he did not flinch. He knew the Aurora Star could not overpower it head-on. He needed to be clever.
AI, he said, we need a plan that uses more than firepower.
Think, how can one ship beat that monstrosity? They will rely on numbers. Predictable strategy. Humans are unpredictable. Talha's eyes lit up.
We're gonna use that. Prepare for a feint.
The Aurora Star moved forward as if attacking head-on. Alien ships opened fire, expecting a direct confrontation. Energy beams tore through space, but the Aurora Star's shields absorbed the hits with minimal damage. At the last moment, Talha activated a stealth pulse, disappearing from sensors again and slipping around the enemy formation. The AI guided him to the flagship's blind spots, areas the aliens assumed were safe. Talha fired the Aurora Star's energy cannons precisely at key systems, disabling weapons arrays and navigation nodes. Chaos erupted within the alien formation. Their swarm became disorganized, retreating in confusion.
Taha! A human communications voice finally broke through.
Colonies report your ship, single-handedly, holding the line. Talha grinned, but he knew the battle was far from over. The flagship, still operational, began to retaliate. Massive energy beams cut through space, forcing him to execute risky maneuvers. The Aurora Star's agility kept him alive, but one mistake would mean destruction. Trust humans.
Ingenuity, the AI whispered. Talha relied on instincts, intuition, and the ship's AI guidance.
He combined maneuvers never taught in any academy. Unpredictable twists, rapid accelerations, and sudden directional shifts. Alien pilots struggled to track him, unable to anticipate the ship's movements. Each pulse of energy from the Aurora Star hit exactly where it needed to, crippling weapon systems and scattering formations. Time seemed to stretch. Talha worked tirelessly, thinking several steps ahead. He remembered the old logs, the lessons from previous captains, the stories of daring maneuvers. He applied every strategy the Aurora Star had ever executed, improvising when necessary, creating combinations no single fleet commander could predict. And slowly, the alien flagship weakened. Its shields flickered, weapons failed, and smaller ships fell back. The human colonies had time to organize defensive fleets, arriving to assist, inspired by the courage of one ship. The Aurora Star's AI spoke quietly, almost with pride. Humans, unpredictable, unstoppable. Talha allowed himself a small, satisfied smile. Humanity's edge was not in technology alone. It was in creativity, courage, and the refusal to give up. One ship forgotten and abandoned had reminded humans of that power. But the flagship still remained, dangerous and large. Talha knew one final strike was needed. He ran calculations, planning a maneuver that relied on both his instincts and the ship's systems. It was risky, too risky for most pilots, but necessary. The Aurora Star accelerated, weaving through the battlefield like a needle threading through a tapestry. Alien fire tracked him but never quite landed. He reached the flagship's rear, where shields were weakest. "Now, AI," he whispered. The Aurora star fired a concentrated pulse directly into the flagship's energy core. Systems overloaded. Energy readings spiked. There was a blinding flash, and then the flagship fell silent, drifting powerless through space. Alien ships scattered, retreating in disarray. Talha floated in the bridge, chest heaving. The battle was over. One ship, forgotten, abandoned, dismissed, had changed the outcome of an entire engagement. Human colonies were safe for now, and the Aurora star had proven that ingenuity, courage, and human determination could overcome overwhelming odds. Outside, stars twinkled, indifferent to the chaos and victory within. But inside the Aurora star, systems hummed gently, alive and proud. Talha leaned back in the captain's chair, exhausted but elated. "You have done well, humans," the AI said softly. Talha nodded, smiling. "We did well." Together, he looked out through the viewport at the scattered alien fleet retreating into the distance. Humanity had won this day, not because of numbers, not because of raw firepower, but because one human mind guided by courage and supported by a legendary ship had made the difference. "They will remember," the AI whispered. "Humans, do not surrender." Talha allowed himself a moment of quiet reflection. For decades, the Aurora star had been forgotten, marked as obsolete, left to die in the graveyard. Now it had reminded the universe and humanity itself of what humans were capable of. The colonies would rebuild. The fleet would take notice, and the Aurora star would once again become a symbol not just of power, but of hope, creativity, and the indomitable human spirit. But Talha knew this was only the beginning. The alien threat was vast, their reach far beyond what any human fleet had yet encountered. Humanity would face many challenges in the years to come. Yet with courage, intelligence, and the unwillingness to surrender, Talha believed humans could face anything. The Aurora star drifted silently now, engines idling, shields humming. Its lights pulsed softly like a heartbeat, alive once more. Talha, captain of the forgotten ship, stared into the stars, ready for whatever came next. Talha sat in the Aurora star's captain chair, the soft hum of the ship's revived systems filling the bridge. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, peaceful at first glance, but sensors told another story. The alien fleet had scattered, but far beyond the battlefield, something larger moved. A massive warship, bigger and more advanced than the flagship he had just destroyed, was approaching at incredible speed. "This isn't over," Talha said quietly, his eyes scanning the readings. "They have learned. They have adapted," the AI responded. Talha leaned forward, fingers resting lightly on the console. He knew the Aurora star was fast, clever, and stronger than any modern ship, but this threat was different. It was not just about power. It was about strategy, creativity, and courage. He plotted a course toward the human colonies, knowing they could not face this new ship without warning. "We'll buy them time," he said. Then we hit back. The Aurora star surged forward, shields at maximum, engines blazing with energy thought lost to decades. Talha activated stealth mode and wove through asteroid debris and orbital remnants, moving silently toward the alien threat. His heart pounded. The entire fleet had underestimated humans once, and they would do so again. But Talha would not let that happen. Hours later, they reached the edge of the alien fleet's outer formation. Sensors picked up dozens of smaller ships, protective drones designed to delay intruders.
Talha did not hesitate. "We'll start small," he said.
"Take out the outer defenses first." Calculating trajectory. The AI hummed. The Aurora star moved like a shadow among the stars, invisible to the alien fleet's sensors. Talha fired precise energy pulses at the drones, disabling them one by one. They scattered in confusion, unsure of the invisible enemy striking from nowhere. The human colonies had a brief moment of hope as the outer defenses fell without warning. But the massive alien warship remained, a looming presence far in the distance, its energy shields glowing ominously. Talha knew a direct attack would be suicide. He needed cunning. He remembered the old battle logs, the stories of daring maneuvers the Aurora Star had performed decades ago. The ship had survived impossible odds before, relying on speed, stealth, and creativity. Talha smiled grimly. "Time to do it again," he whispered. The Aurora Star accelerated, weaving through the alien drones, heading straight for the largest warship. Talha initiated a diversionary tactic. He fired decoy energy pulses, making it seem as though the attack would come from one direction, then twisted the ship at impossible angles to approach from the rear. The alien warship adjusted its shields, but Talha anticipated every move. "Unpredictable!" "Humans," the AI muttered, almost admiringly. The Aurora Star struck at weak points in the enemy hull, energy beams piercing shields, engines, and weapon arrays. The alien ship staggered, surprised by the precision and ingenuity of a single human vessel. Smaller alien craft scrambled, attempting to defend it, but the Aurora Star danced among them, dodging fire and striking with exacting force. Meanwhile, across human space, fleet communications crackled. Reports from the colonies spoke of a single ship, a ghost in the void, turning the tide. The Aurora Star had become a symbol, a legend reborn. Talha felt a thrill of pride, but he did not allow himself to relax. The alien warship was powerful, and one mistake could be the end of everything. Talha activated the Aurora Star's auxiliary systems, bringing hidden weapon arrays online. Missiles, energy pulses, and stealth cannons all hummed with life, ready for the final strike. He relied not on brute force but on strategy, positioning the ship where enemy shields were weakest. The alien fleet reacted, sending waves of fighters to intercept, but Talha anticipated every maneuver. He used the ship's speed, stealth, and AI-guided targeting to destroy one wave after another. The larger warship faltered, its systems overtaxed, unable to keep up with the unpredictable attacks. "They are clever, resourceful, human," the AI whispered, almost in awe. Talha knew it was time. He plotted a final risky move. The Aurora Star would use the enemy ship's own energy against it. He maneuvered directly beneath the alien vessel, aligning the ship's energy cannons with its power core. The alien warship fired blindly, missing, as the Aurora Star launched a massive, concentrated energy pulse into the vulnerable core. The explosion was blinding. Energy flares illuminated the surrounding void. The alien warship shuddered, systems failing, then drifted powerless among the wreckage of its own fleet. Smaller alien ships fled in panic. The Aurora Star, battered but victorious, floated among the debris, alive and triumphant. Talha leaned back in the captain's chair, breathing heavily, exhilaration and exhaustion mingling in equal measure. The battle was won. Human colonies were safe, at least for now. One ship, a forgotten abandoned vessel, had reminded the galaxy of humanity's power. Communications crackled. Human fleets were sending messages of awe and respect. The colonies cheered. History would not forget this victory. Talha looked at the Aurora Star, its lights pulsing like a heartbeat. "We did it, humans," the AI said softly. "No," Talha replied, smiling. "We did it together." He floated through the bridge, running his hands along the ship's controls. Every panel, every switch, every hum of energy was a reminder that even a forgotten ship could still make a difference. The Aurora Star had once been dismissed, left to rot in a graveyard, but now it was a legend once more. He thought of the engineer who had once doubted, who had seen a spark where others saw scrap. The Aurora Star had waited for someone to notice, someone brave enough to awaken it. Talha realized that humanity, too, was like the ship, underestimated, overlooked, but full of hidden potential. The AI spoke again, softly this time. "Humanity will not surrender." Talha nodded. "No, we won't." Far away in the reaches of space, scattered alien forces regrouped, shaken but not defeated. Talha knew this was only one battle. The galaxy was vast, and threats would come again, but now humanity had an edge. a reminder of what one ship, one crew, and one mind could do. He set a course back toward the human colonies. There would be repairs, debriefings, and recognition. But for Talha, the most important thing was simple. The Aurora Star lived again, and so did hope. As the Aurora Star glided through space, its light shimmering against the darkness, Talha allowed himself a moment of quiet pride. The ship's AI spoke one final time before silence returned. Legend restored. Talha smiled. Yes. Legendary. The Aurora Star, once forgotten, now sailed boldly through the stars, a living reminder of human courage, ingenuity, and the unyielding spirit that refused to surrender. And somewhere deep in the void, beyond the reach of fleets and colonies, other eyes watched. They had underestimated humans once. They would never do so again. For the Aurora Star, for Talha, and for all of humanity, the legend had begun again.